Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Pre-Market News and Views by In the Money Stocks. Today is Friday, October 18th, 2013. Thank you all for tuning in. Let's jump right into the charts here. We're going to start off with the usual S&P 500 E-mini futures. Futures this morning are starting higher by $5 to around 1732 and 3/4. Pretty solid move up on the futures. Really, the move is coming on the back of Google earnings. The market reacting pretty positive to Google earnings. I don't know if the earnings were all that stellar, but nonetheless, the stock is soaring and roaring. So really, that's all that matters. You'll see Google trading up around $970 today. It closed at $888.50 yesterday. So just a tremendous move on Google this morning. And with that stock being up as much as it is, it's really giving a boost to most of the major indexes as well as most of the NASDAQ and tech stocks out there. So pretty big pop up for Google. Google is soaring and roaring, and I really think that that is giving a lift to the overall markets. Anytime you get a big stock like that up about 9%, that's just a tremendous move. So Google's up around $81 at the moment, and what can you say? That's giving the markets a lift, and we'll see if it can last throughout the trading day. Again, futures are up $5. It's not that big of a deal, but the NASDAQ futures are catching a bid this morning. They're up by about 17.5, 17.25. So pretty good little move up on the NASDAQ futures, but we'll see if that can last throughout the session. Generally on a Friday, we look for a flat to slightly positive day, so we'll see if we do get that going forward. Looking at a few other stocks here in the news today, you have another big winner, Chipotle Mexican Grill. The fast food chain, soaring and roaring. This is trading at around $475 a share. It closed yesterday at $438. I would not be chasing this. I would not be a buyer up here. Let this thing pull in for a few days. Let it get pulled back. Then you could re-examine it or look at it again. But to chase this thing up here or chase Google up here is just absolute insanity. Whether or not they could trade higher from here or not, I honestly don't know, because they're making new highs. We don't have a past reference to go against, but either way, they're up just a ton. Morgan Stanley also reported earnings before the opening bell. That stock's catching a good bid. A little bit overbought on the daily chart. I would not be touching Morgan Stanley either, although the stock is up before the opening bell, but do not chase this up here. These things are just way too extended and too close to a pullback, if you ask me. Now on the downside, we do have some stocks as well. ISRG, which is Intuitive Surgical. This stock has been one of the more volatile names. Even though it's a light volume equity, the stock today is just getting hammered to the downside. Closed yesterday at $399.14. Today it's trading at $369.50. So that is a bludgeoning for Intuitive Surgical. Right now, when I look at this stock, it does have further downside to go, so I would not be looking to buy this here. Couple levels you could watch for around the 332 level. There'll be a little bit of short-term support, and then it's much lower. You got to look all the way down to around 279. So again, Intuitive Surgical getting hit pretty decently on the downside here. Advanced Micro Devices, AMD, chip maker, competitor of Intel, that's getting hammered too. That stock closed at $4.10. It's now trading at $3.70. So I'm looking at this chart. I don't see all that much at the moment, but the stock now is definitely oversold. So to short it here or to, you really wouldn't want to do much with it. A good level on this stock that I'm seeing, we have two levels. 357 could be a little bit of a bounce area, also 324, and then $2.90. I'm just not sure what kind of bounce this would give us, being such a low price stock. But I really couldn't get bearish on AMD at this stage of the game since it's so beaten down already. But again, keep those levels I just gave you on the radar. They may come in handy a little bit later in the day. Looking at oil and gold today, oil is catching a bid higher. Right now, light sweet crude is trading higher by about $1 to 101.67 a barrel. If we take a look at the USO, which is a good proxy for light sweet crude, you'll see that's trading at 36.64. Yesterday, USO closed at 36.38. So again, they keep defending oil down at this level. So we'll see if it can move up higher from here. But ultimately, oil was sold pretty hard yesterday, and right now I don't see a whole lot of strength, but there is definitely some minor support in this area. Looking at gold this morning, gold is trading lower. It's down about, well, it's exactly down $4.60 to 318.40. Gold had a soaring move yesterday. The GLD is what we'll take a look at now. That's a good proxy for gold, and you'll see gold really trading at GLD trading at 127.27. It closed at 127.42. So really not a big deal there. Gold is down about $5 after soaring up over $30 yesterday. The one thing I will say about gold is there were some comments, I believe, out of the ECB boss Mario Draghi today about gold, and it was pretty interesting how he said that he never understood why anybody would sell their gold. And this is, one of the biggest central banks in the world, and he's saying to people, why would people sell their gold? That makes no sense, and he couldn't understand why people would even sell gold. He would be accumulating gold. So I have to find that a little bit strange, since Ben Bernanke really does not believe in holding gold at all. But Mario Draghi today said he really can't understand why people sold gold whatsoever. So China continues to buy gold. Other central banks around the world continue to buy gold. Our Federal Reserve holds gold, but yet they talk it down and they tell you not to have it. So it's a little bit strange there. But hats off to Mario Draghi for speaking his mind. So we'll see how that all shakes out. But gold is down a little bit today, and again, I'm not really sure where it's going, but yesterday's move was pretty important for gold, which I think we have to give gold a near-term bias to the upside, at least over the next couple weeks. So with that said, everybody, I'm going to leave it here short and sweet. It is a Friday. We do have a lot of gap plays in motion today, so come over to the chat room. They'll be posted around 9 o'clock. There's also an In the Money Stocks Keys to Unlimited Success webinar tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. So those of you that want to try and join that, come over to the website. Details will be on the blog, or you could call the office or send an email to support it In the Money Stocks. Have a great weekend, everybody, and we'll see you on the charts.